And this session and all of them that we're going to do today should be also dedicated to Leilu Neshama, LevLeib ben Zion, also to Rifah Shlema, Riel Ora Basana, Imim Rasi Rachel Bas Brindel, also to Aslacha Rabbi, to Giberes Chana Bas Avraham Avinu, and the whole family. All right, so today we continue with our class Shabbos Home, and we're on this chapter 30. As I said, I think it's one of the longest chapter, one in the longest running chapter in the book, I think. In chapter Melacha is building, so and we're up to section 6, and now now practical application of what prohibition to add or to repair existing structure on Shabbos. Okay. So again, practical application of prohibition to add or to repair to existing structure on Shabbos. So we said on a biblical level it would be forbidden if it's like a big structure. So meaning you attach to the house or a big piece of furniture, more than one, like Amma, 1 by 1 by 3. But even if you attach tightly or attach loosely, it would be forbidden. But on if it's like smaller things, so only if you attach tightly, but loosely, no problem. Or last time I think we said if it were created like that, also no problem. Like folding or all folding things. So it's not like you attach something. So like technically, if you have a folding table, right, and when you open up the legs, right, so of this table, so it looks like it is now they were detached in a sense. So now they attach firmly to the table. So it's not. So since it was made this way, there is no problem. Okay, so now continue with details. So subsection A, attaching up object to the wall, two walls. Okay. Number 1, pounding nails into the wall. One is forbidden to pound the nails into the wall on Shabbos for 2 reasons. A, because by doing so, he added to the building, and B, because it is forbidden to make holes in a structure on Shabbos. Right. So let's try to understand. So, right, so one is forbidden to pound the nail into the walls on Shabbos for 2 reasons. Because by doing so, one adds to the building. So again, building build any structure. So even like it says, piece of furniture, other things is considered to be building, even if they're not. So and everything is attached to the building is also considered to be the building. So we said, for example, a small bookshelf, right? But it is attached to the wall, so it's considered to be part of the wall. Okay. So right, and in this case, for example, you have a handle, like the door handle, right? So if it fell off, or a cabinet handle, right, in the kitchen cabinet, so since it's attached to the wall, you cannot attach it back even loosely. Right. So because by doing so adds to the building, so we're talking about nail. Or B, because it is forbidden to make holes in a structure on Shabbos. So it's not holes as a holes, but you're not allowed to demolish. Right, so there are 2 separate melachas. One is the building, and one is the demolition. Right, and we'll learn about demolitions. I think it's next chapter or after that. I don't remember. So number 2, attaching hooks to the wall. Right. The act of attaching hook to the wall is one of adding to the structure. Therefore, it falls under the melacha of building. It makes no difference whether the hook is screwed into the wall or attached with a nail or glue. Right. In all cases, it is forbidden. It is forbidden. The same is true of rubber. Right. Adhesive of rubber, adhesive backed envelope. One may not stick them onto the wall on Shabbos. Adhesive backed door stops. Sorry. Okay, so let's see from the beginning. So now we're talking about attaching hooks to the wall. Okay. So meaning that the purpose of this example, so meaning that we attach something tiny to the wall, right? But since it is a wall that attached to the ground, so it would be forbidden. Okay. So again, that the act of attaching hook to the wall is one added to the structure. So that's what is forbidden. Therefore, it falls under the melacha of building. So anything attached to the structure. It makes no difference whether the hook is screwed into the wall or attached with a nail or glue. Right. So meaning sometimes you would have anchors. Right. So if you see like you want to hook like hang something heavy, or if you have a sheet rack. So if you have a sheet rack, for sure you need you need anchors, right? And even the anchor is there, so it's attached to the to the wall, but it's after you screwed it even before Shabbos, so it becomes part of the wall. Doesn't matter, like a different object, part of the wall. So you cannot you use a screw to attach this hook or a nail or a glue or anything. So it doesn't matter how a person attaches. Okay, the same is true about rubber adhesive back door stops. I'm trying to think if I remember what does it mean. Basically, there is when we saying what he means, there is like a door stops. I think it would be connected to the door, I guess. It's whether to the door or to the wall, right? So you're going to ruin something, one or another, and right, and there is adhesive, like one part is adhesive, covered with a paper. You remove the paper and stick to the door. Let's say. I'm not sure why he took this example, but okay. One may not stick onto the wall. So okay. No. So it's not to the door, but technically it doesn't matter. Like since it's prevent from door handle hitting the wall, you can put it on a door or you can put it on a wall. I mean, from my experience, all of them, majority of them, it's not adhesive. It would be like with a screw, I think. So today they have an even better solution. I'm not sure when they invented, but they actually put it's actually invisible. They put it in the hinges itself. It's beautifully takes a little space. No drilling and nothing is needed. You don't see it's like on top of the hinges. That's what we use, right? Very right. Very, very good. Okay. So, but still, these things also be forbidden because now it's attached. Maybe not so firmly because it has to move on a hinge, but still it's attached to the hinge. It's not going to fall off or something. Okay. So number 3, pressing thumbs tacks into the bulletin board. Right. One may not press thumbtacks into the bulletin board, big board attached to the wall on Shabbos. Right. Since the bulletin board is attached to the wall, is a part of the structure. Therefore, one who presses the thumbtack into it has added to the structure of Shabbos. Right. So I have this bulletin board, maybe made of cork, I think. In olden days, now they do from something else. So I have this thumbtack, these pins that you attach some message. I have my office where I had we had these walls made from this material. First of all, they sound absorbent, but then you can put the pins into it, and it's this material that the pins would not ruin it. So meaning if you remove the pins, nothing. And everybody had their like notes, whatever you need, some phone numbers, some notes, some information right in front of them, and comes new president and said cut all of the walls. So we have walls this high, meaning like very very low, right? Very interesting. So some people complain, what are we going to do? But we managed. Person can manage. Okay, so basically these things, bulletin board, not allowed to use, because if it's attached to the wall, right? If it's that attached to the wall, so this pin is going to be also attached to the wall, right? So if it's not attached to the wall, this bulletin board, I think it still is like a tight attachment, because if you stick it all the way down, okay, so it would be forbidden on a rabbinical level, of course. So continue. Number 4, replacing the rat in a shower curtain. It is forbidden to reattach the rat in a shower curtain to the wall on Shabbos, for by doing so adds to the structure. And many shower rats, they're not connected to the wall like with the screws. They have a spring, right? And because of the pressure of the spring, they hold it in a place. But sometimes, the cheaper one especially, they fall down, but you're still not allowed to attach. But for me, why would you want to attach? Nobody's going to take a shower or something. Right? If it's on your way, you're afraid that you're going to sleep. Somebody's going to sleep. You can move it maybe it's a food or something. Put it in your bathtub, and that's it. So reattach after Shabbos. Okay, so that was number 4. Number 5, placing cover of a baseboard heater. Replacing. It is forbidden to replace the cover of the baseboard heater on Shabbos, since the heater is attached to the wall. It is a part of the structure. Therefore, one who replaces the cover has added to the structure on Shabbos. Similarly, if the cover is loose, one may not tighten on Shabbos. This falls in the category of repairing existing structure. I'm not sure. I'm thinking if I remember this kind of cover. So in old buildings, right, from 1930 or something. So they have these radiators, and they stand outside of the wall, right? So stick out. So some people, what they do, right, they have this what is it, cover, radiator cover, right? The baseboard cover. Okay, so this baseboard on the bottom, and radiator is high. So this thing, this cover, they do not touch the radiator at all. So they just slide in, just stand on top of it. So that's it. So these things would be allowed, but when it's something that is hangs on this radiator, would be forbidden. So I think I saw it long time ago. Right, there is metal coverings on these radiators. So this would be forbidden because it hangs on a radiator, right? Or baseboard, this thing goes right across what is it? The base of the base. So you if falls off. Sometimes they do falls off. I don't know for what. Maybe somebody just knocked it off, so you cannot put it back. So even right, because it is, this baseboard is attached to the wall, to the structure, part of the structure. Continue. Number 6, hanging picture on the wall. According to many poskim, one is permitted to hang the picture on the wall on Shabbos, provided that the nail from which it is being suspended was already in the wall before Shabbos. Since the picture is being hung strictly for decorative purposes, it is regarded as a separate object and not something added to the structure. Okay. So let's see from the beginning. According to many poskim, one is permitted to hang pictures, and commentaries say, of course, the picture must not fall into category of muktzah. I don't exactly remember, but there is some pictures, I guess maybe expensive paintings or something, that would fall in category of muktzah. Meaning the ones I'm just going by the memory. I could be like would not remember all the details. That's something that other people would not want us to touch with our hands. So if it's like a picture that some fake paintings or cheap paintings or your kids paintings, no problem. So you touch with your hands, there is no problem. But some expensive paintings like and if you touch it with your fingers, it's going to like spoil like the painting or something. So this the meaning if the owner would prefer for you not to touch it, or like even them the family members not to touch it, so meaning that this thing becomes muktzah on Shabbos, if I remember correctly. So meaning not all of the pictures just because they're for decorative purposes, and not just because the nail was banged there before Shabbos are allowed to hang. Okay, so these things would be muktzah. Same as what? Maybe we should learn about muktzah one day. Same was something that you prefer people not to touch. For example, pieces of I don't know, let's say your grandmother, great grandmother teacup, right? So even is it muktzah? Like, right? We know that the dishes are not muktzah. Even you usually don't use them, or even on Shabbos the dishes from Pesach. So technically they're not muktzah, right? They're not muktzah. Why? Because technically you can use them on Shabbos. Yeah, you would need to kash them afterward, but technically they're not muktzah. But this thing in this cup from your great grandmother, so you prefer not to drink from this. So right, it's there in your right, it's on your display. So meaning it is a muktzah. Okay, right. Okay, so and it's very interesting explanation. So again, according to many poskim, one is permitted to hang the pictures on Shabbos, on wall on Shabbos, provided that nail from which is being suspended already before Shabbos. That's a given. Okay, since the scripture is being hung strictly for decorative purposes, so meaning I'm not adding anything to the structure, and it's separate. So nail is not separate. A nail is part of the structure. So right, in order for me to take out the nail, so it's going to leave a hole and stuff like that, right? But this picture is something different. Okay, so that's why they allow us. Okay, no problem. But of course, as we said, there is a the restriction if it's not muktzah. Okay. And in the Talmud, they give the example of tapestry. Not tapestry, meaning it's not exactly a picture, but something different. But still, I think exactly the same rationale, because it's for decoration. Okay. So number 7, towel rack, a toilet paper holder. Okay. In the case of towel rack, whose bar is made to be removed and replaced, one is permitted to remove the bar, change the towel, and return the rack to its holder. Since this is normal way of using utensil, it is not violation of the melach of building. The same holds true with the toilet paper holder. One is permitted to remove and replace the bar in order to change the toilet paper. Okay, so let's do them separately. So again, in the case of towel rack, I'm not sure if we have those today. I think I said before, in the olden days, in a public restrooms, even in synagogue, it was a popular to have this towel, like lawn towel, and you you wipe your hands, and and when you need the dry towel, you just pull. So and it's like in a belt or something. I think somewhere inside that there is a heater, like on low heat and continue like heat. I think, right, or it's very long. It was in the restaurant, like everywhere. Before they switched to the paper towel. Right. Very, very interesting. So in this case, yes, of course, from time to time, you need to wash this, or you need to insert the dry towel, right? So you need to remove this rat, but of course, but everything was mechanical. There's no no electricity. Again, I suspect there is some heater like inside that would heat the towel, but that's a different story. Okay. So technically, since it was made removable, so you can remove, replace the towel and put it back. In today's world, to today's life, I'm not sure if we have this. Right, since a normal way of use, so that's a key part for us to remember. If a normal way of use, there is no problem. Same as like folding and unfolding chairs, right, or tables. Okay, so it's not violation of milach. Okay, same is true with regard toilet paper holder. Okay, we got the point. So these two pieces attached to the wall, right, and this bar, right. Is made to be removed. Again, there is a spring inside, so you just push one side, but we're not allowed to use the toilet paper. I mean, we have to prepare before Shabbos. So this roll, technically on a roll, it's a muktzah, but we got the point. We got the idea. Next one, number 8, child safety gates. Child safety gates that fit into the tracks attached to the wall are made to be removed and replaced. Therefore, there is their insertion is not included in melach of building. Accordingly, one is permitted to insert the gates into their tracks on Shabbos. Right? So again, the child safety gates fit into the tracks attached to the wall. So you usually not all of them today, the different combination, but if you don't have to attach anything to the wall, there is no problem. So but here we have tracks attached to the wall, and you just like insert these gates into the tracks. There is no problem attached to the wall. So that's because that's how they made, right? I'm not sure how sets of tracks they usually 3. I think they would salvage 3 sets of tracks. So meaning it's like it's extendable gate, so you can use it in the kitchen or whatever to all of these rooms. A child would not go into the kitchen or in other places, right? Or if you have like 2 floors, so it would not go to the stairs, would not fall from the stairs, stuff like that. Okay. So meaning that you just take this gate and attach to the rails, they call tracks, to the tracks in the place where you need. No problem. Okay. So of course these tracks you cannot attach to the wall on Shabbos, but it's understandable. So let me quickly check time. Okay. So second. So let's go a little further, I guess. Okay. So subsection B, doors and windows. Number 1, using the door that came off its hinges. Right. The door that came off its hinges may continue be used on Shabbos. There is one using the doorway may move the unattached door out of the way to pass through and then replace it, right, in the doorway after it's been passed. Although one is generally not permitted to attach the object loosely to the structure on Shabbos, in this case is different, since the door are made for the purpose of being removed and replaced in a doorway. Right. It follows that only the actual door may be used in this manner. Right. One may not take mere piece of wood. There is sheet of plywood, right, and use it to close off the doorway. Since the wood is not made to serve as a door, its placement in doorway it resembles act of building. Okay, so let's try to understand quickly. So again, doors and windows, right? So if using the door came off the hinges, I mean today they have, as I said, like different hinges. It's hard to take the door off the hinges, but in olden days I do remember some hinges. I mean, was just not good, and the door would come off the hinges. I do remember this, like in olden days. Okay, so again, the door came off of the hinges on Shabbos. So maybe it continues, for example, on the restroom. What are you going to do? So if it's I don't know, some other room, there is no problem. So you just lean it on a wall next to the doorway. There is no problem. But for restroom, you need some kind of privacy. So you want it. You want to close as as good as you can. You would not be allowed to put it back on the hinges, but to close the the room as much as you can. Yes, you're allowed. Okay. So again, Shabbos. One is doorway may move an unattached door. So meaning when you go out, you can remove it out of the way to pass through, and then replace the doorway after he has passed. Okay, no problem. Although one generally not permitted to attach the door even loosely, but in this case it's not attached. It's just you lean. It's not attached, right? On Shabbos. This case is different since the door is made for this purpose of being removed and replaced in the doorway. So meaning yes, it's usually on the hinges open and close, but this time you just lean on the door. Or sometimes I know. What is it? Sometimes you do a renovation in your house and you apply some, you paint it or apply some other coverage on this. You cover with something this door, so and it's drying. And guess what? It's Shabbos. It's usually right, and you did not have time to put it back, or you forgot, or something else happened. Okay, so I mean that's possible situation, probable situation. Right? It follows that only an actual door may be used in this manner because that's you would usually close this entrance with a door, but not something else like a piece of plywood. Okay, since the wood is not made to serve as a door. Its placement in the doorway resembled the act of building, unless I think if it was like before that. So people did not don't have a door for whatever reason. So they started renovation. Then, as usual, these contractors ran away, and you got stuck, and you already move in because contract wherever you live expired. And guess what? You need to live somewhere, and you sometimes you would use this sheet of sheetrock or plywood to close the door, just to cover it for privacy, right? For example, it's a bedroom. Okay, continue. Number 2, placing the door that came off the hinges. Replacement. One is forbidden to attach the door that came off the hinges, for by doing so, he's adding to the structure. So one part of the hinges for sure, attached with the screws to the structure. Even if the door can simply be slipped into the hinge without screwing the hinge to the wall, it is still forbidden, right? Because again, as we explained, with attaching to the structure, it is forbidden to do it in a hard way or even not to attach tightly, right? Tightly or not tightly is forbidden. So for sure, I mean, in most of the cases, if the hinge came off, it would not be allowed because you have to screw with a screw, right? But to put it in one hinge, one part is on a door and one part was on a door frame, right? And then you connect and put a pin, or there is that's regular hinges. Okay, not allowed. So next one, number 3, doorknob. It is forbidden to tighten the screw of loose doorknob on Shabbos. It is also forbidden to replace doorknob on Shabbos, even if it's merely inserted into the door without being screwed. screwed in. However, one is permitted to insert the screwdriver or some other metal rod into the door hole, right, of the doorknob, and used to open the door. Okay, so doorknob again we're not allowed because it connects to the door that attached to the structure, to the building, and would not be allowed to do it again tightly or not tightly. Right, and as we said, the doorknob usually consists of two sides, from one side to another. So technically, you can use only even one side to open the door, right? Even with external side, there is no problem. But not in this case because our sages forbid it. Okay, no problem. But he can do a screwdriver. I'm not sure if he can open the door with a screwdriver, like if it has a latch, like on a spring. I mean, technically you can, but you have to figure the way how to do that. I mean, it's not so simple. I think many people would not figure out how what exactly to press with a screwdriver so it would open. I don't think so. Okay. Right. But screwdriver is something that would not be muktzah because you can use it for something that's permissible. Right. So next one, number 4, mezuzah fell of the doorpost. Mezuzah fell of doorpost may not be replaced on Shabbos. This refers both to mezuzah holder and refers to both the mezuzah holder, and to replacing mezuzah itself inside is forbidden. Okay, so again, the mezuzah fell of the doorpost. It may not be replaced on Shabbos. Right, it refers to both mezuzah holder. Mezuzah holder meaning completely mezuzah with a scroll inside, or replacing mezuzah like this scroll itself inside of the holder. So in my mind, we're talking about mezuzah for outside. I mean, you can use them inside as well. There is a tube, right, and it has two closures from the bottom. There is usually like some kind of seal, some kind of like a rubber gasket or something, right? But the one from the bottom can get loose and fall, so it falls, right, and the mezuzah falls out. Very, very possible. So you're not allowed. So meaning the holder is still there, right? The holder is still there. You would not be allowed to replace mezuzah. So in my mind, like the simple explanation, in order to scroll to stay there, you need to close this cup from the bottom, right? And it's going to be a hard attachment, so for sure it's forbidden. Okay, next one, covering broken windows. It is forbidden to cover broken windows with a piece of plywood or a sheet of metal on Shabbos, even as a temporary measure. We fear that one may come to leave the covering there permanently. I'm not sure why. In which case, he will have a later milach of building. However, one is permitted to cover the window with a cloth, provided that he does not attach the cloth with the nails, and that he intends as a temporary measure. Okay, so let's see. So maybe it was like strong wind, hurricane or something like broke the window. Okay, it's possible. So again, it is forbidden. It is prohibited to cover broken window with a piece of plywood. Okay, so I mean, if plywood was pre-cut before, I understand, but usually it's so big, it's like it's much bigger than the window or smaller than the window. Okay, plywood. Or the sheet of metal. Metal is right, different story. Even as a temporary measure. Okay, we got it. We fear that one might come to leave the covering permanently. I mean, if it's not attached, I'm not sure. It's my personal understanding. Why would you leave it permanently? Because if a window is broken or something, if glass is broken, it's going to be like cold air is going to come in. I'm not sure. Right? It can blow off this piece of plywood. Okay. If it's strong wind, you have draft or something. Okay. in which case it will be valid the milach of building. So meaning if it fits tightly for whatever reason and you live there, so it's going to be milach of building. However, one is permitted to cover the window with a cloth. So cloth, right, a person would remember to remove, right, without attaching with the nails. Okay. So because the cloth is, we understand, is a temporary measure. Okay, 1 second. And we continue. Replacing window shades or blinds. According to some authorities, one may reinsert window shades, very interesting, or set of blinds into their brackets on Shabbos. If they are of the sort that slip off easily, right, in and out of the brackets. If, however, they are of the sort that fit tightly into the brackets, they may not be replaced on Shabbos. So today, there is a different technology. After they learn from this problem, from them for falling out, there is a different technology. There is like a middle clip, metal clip. It's like you have to clip, like a click. So for sure, it's never going to fall out, right? So even on the side there is a traditional holders, but this middle one would keep it tightly. And sometimes it's like two of them in the middle, these metal ones, right? It's very strong, very strong. So, but in olden days, you buy in the discount store, this vertical blinds, right? And if you did not buy the right size, or you did not calculate correctly, whatever is it, and you put these brackets on a very very ends of the window, so most likely there is some room for these blinds to go back and left and right, and can fall out, right, if you pull it tightly. Because again, these brackets were flat plastic, they're flexible, right? Not that flexible, but after being exposed, sun exposure, yes, they become ruined. So again, according to some authorities, one may reinsert the window's shade or set of blinds into the brackets on Shabbos. Into the brackets. Oh. If it's plastic ones, so we had this thing to close. To close, so this would be forbidden. If it's a metal one, so you have this closure, this gate, if you say it, and it would click. So right, there is no problem because it's part of one structure. But if a plastic one, when you have this small piece of plastic that you put in into this bracket, would be forbidden, I think, to put this plastic. Okay. Right. So since just one second, brackets Shabbos. Commentary said, even these authorities permit only to replace the shades in bracket, but not hanging initially on Shabbos, of course. If, however, they are sort of that fit tightly into the brackets, right? They may not be replaced on Shabbos. So tightly, usually, I'm not sure what I mean. Tightly, it's as I said, this that you have to click. It's like a spring. So that would be forbidden. But regular, traditional brackets should not be an issue because they're flexible. Go left and right. And the last one, and we stop. Number 7, window screen. If screen falls out of the window, it may not be replaced on window on Shabbos, since the screen is not made to be removed or replaced. Right? It is regarded as a part of the building, right? And therefore, one who replaces it adds to the structure on Shabbos, which is forbidden. So open and close the screen, there is a different story. You not remove it, but if it falls off, cannot put it back. All right.